Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2024 and 25, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence, and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, and also Viksit Bharat at 2047. In collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing, and international and national Prajna. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are celebrating World Day of War Orphans, which is celebrated every year on January 6th, which highlights the array of challenges these orphans face globally. Globally, millions of children are orphaned due to war, and they are subjected to a life of hardship and emotional and physical neglect. This day was created by the French organization SOS Enfants and Dresses to raise awareness about their suffering and to better future. Losing a parent is very difficult, but losing a parent due to war is even worse. UNICEF defines an orphan as a child under the age of 18 who has lost one or both parents to any cause of death in the wars that took place during the last few centuries. Roughly half of the victims were civilians, a number that gradually increased until 2001. As of 2015, there was nearly 140 million orphans globally, including 61 million in Asia, 52 million in Africa, 10 million in Latin America and the Caribbean, and 7.3 million in Eastern Europe and Central Asia, according to UNICEF. Children who have lost their parents in untimely harsh incidents like war are forced to stay with a surviving family member, or they enter into the foster care system and face poor conditions like malnutrition and disease. The emotional and mental stress they endure is unimaginable. Orphan numbers are lower in developed countries but are richer in places that have been subjected to wars and epidemics. Some children, however, lose their parents by getting separated from them during the chaos of war. World Day of War Orphans was created by SOS Enfants and Dresses, a French organization that works to bring a sense of normalcy to the lives of children affected indirectly by wars and conflict. It is held on January 6th annually, and every year awareness programs takes place, give people a better understanding of the plight of orphan children are forced to face. So the Romans formed their first orphanages, which prescribed care for widows and support all orphans of those killed in military service until the age of 18, 400 AD. The first charitable institution that caters to orphans in the West, the Foundling Hospital, is founded in 1741. Thanks to the influence of Charles Loring Brace, foster care becomes a popular alternative to orphan asylums and almshouses. The rise of foster care in the West in 1800s. The orphans spread. The Second World War leaves large number of orphans in many countries, with estimating for Europe ranging from 1 crore to 13 crores. So, war orphan is someone who is a child who has lost both parents or less commonly one parent to civilian deaths in the war. According to UNICEF, an estimated 153 million children worldwide are orphans. World Day for War Orphans was created by SOS Infants, addresses and highlights the lives of the children who were affected by the outcomes of the war, aiming for better future. The best gift you can give a children who have lost everything is a sense of family, love, any reason to smile. Your presence at your local orphanage or IDP will mean world to these orphan children. So visit one day, taking gifts, songs, games, or any activities with you and bring some joy to their lives. Every year, programs are held to promote this cause. Attending one could help expand your knowledge on the issue, as well as give you more insight into how you can lend your support. A lot of organizations, orphanages, and IDPs require twice as much funding as they already have. Children are usually subject to poor treatment due to insufficient funds. Your donation, no matter how small, can go a long way to making the lives of orphan children better. UNICEF defines single orphans as child with only one parent that has died, and globally, over 80% of the children in orphanages have a living parent. It takes only one parent's death. Children who grow up in orphanages face a higher risk of becoming victims of violence, trafficking, and exploitation, and they are vulnerable. Orphanage expenses are very high. It's time cheaper to care for a child in the family than that an orphanage. According to the UNICEF, an estimated 150 million children worldwide are orphans, and they are in majority. With the number of civilian victims rising steadily in recent conflicts, children are at high proportion. While this day focuses on war orphans, it draws attention to all who have been affected by war. We gain a better understanding of how destructive war can be and the loss it brings. The day is particularly important for orphans as it tells their devastating stories and shines a light on their needs. Our observance of this day brings them hope and lets them know their cries are being heard and heard. World Day for War Orphans seeks to highlight the harsh conditions children left orphaned by war experience. It raises awareness about the poor conditions they are often forced to live in and urges us to take action in any way to improve their well-being. Today is also commemorated as Uruguay Children's Day or Epiphany in Uruguay, which is Uruguay's Children's Day is observed annually in Uruguay on January 6th, also known as Epiphany or Day of the Child, Dia de Nino. The public holiday focuses on giving presents to children Uruguay children receive their Dia del Nino the night before. Little ones polish their shoes and leave them outside, expecting the king's presence on the morning of Dia del Nino. They wake up to find their shoes filled with gifts from the wise men. In the Western world, children are typically giving presents on Christmas Day. However, in Uruguay, the gift giving is postponed until January 6th. It is worthy of note that the Day of the Child wasn't always on the country's calendar. In fact, the rest of Latin America, January 6th is celebrated as Dia de los Reyes, Day of Three Kings, or Epiphany. The annual Catholic holiday is marked to commemorate the visit of wise men from the east to the site where Jesus was born, as documented by the Christian Bible in the Gospel of Matthew. However, Uruguay erased Catholic days from their calendar because of an unique event in 1990. There were several significant occurrences before the exclusion of Catholicism from the Uruguayan calendar. Under Jose Batllé by Odo's direction, religious instruction in public schools was abolished in 1909. Then the church and the state were formally divided by 1917 constitution. A liberal elite won a crucial fight in parliament in 1919 and eliminated Catholicism from the calendar. So Christmas Day became Family Day instead of holiday, or Easter or Holy became Tourism Week, and the Feast of Immaculate Conception was renamed Beach Day as a result of secularization of religious holidays. As a result, Dia de los Reyes is today referred as Dia del Nino, or Day of the Child. On this day, children receive presents from their parents and other adults. So today is also commemorated as Three Kings Day in US on the 12th day of Christmas, January 6th, which is celebrated in US, Europe, Spain, and Latin America as El Dia de los Reyes, and it is called in Spanish, marks glorification of baby Jesus by the three wise men. Today is also commemorated as National Walker's Shortbread Day on January 6th, 2025. That is this year in US. So this is delicious all butter shortbread. Walker's Shortbread Day is a day to appreciate the delectable shortbread in all its glory. The buttery melt in your mouth treat in Scotland's best gift to the world. Baked without a leavening compound such as baking soda or powder, this incredible dessert's dense and rustic texture stands out from any other. As a reminder of this day, why not start the new year on a sweet note by enjoying Scottish delight at home? Originating in Scotland in 12th century and benefiting from cultural exchange with French pastry chefs, shortbread originals recipe calls for a simple mix of butter in the flour. The flattening of the dough shortens it, hence the name shortbread. It wasn't until the intervention of Mary, Queen of Scots, that the crumbling delicacy gained national prominence. In the 16th century, she refined the recipe and propagated its triangular sizing to match it with the preferred petticoat tails. After the introduction of sugar to the United Kingdom, the 17th century, shortbread became a sweet biscuit, best enjoyed with evening tea, and could trace shortbread's cultural footprint back to William Shakespeare's 17th century play, The Merry Wives of Windsor. From its humble origins, as simple as mix of butter and flour, to refined sweet biscuit, we cherish today, shortbread not only delights our taste buds but also connects us to a legacy of tradition and creativity. So, shortbread originates in Scotland and evolves from a medieval biscuit called biscuit bread in 12th century. Shortbread gains popularity, especially during reign of Mary, Queen of Scots, who is credited with recipe refining, and shortbread is mass produced and widely commercialized, becoming a staple in tea culture and beloved treat around the world. So the Walker Shortbread sponsors National Walker Shortbread Day, and the first celebration takes place. Traditional Scottish shortbread is a very simple recipe. It's made with only 4 ingredients, which include sugar, butter, flour, and salt. Shortbread can last for about 2 to 3 weeks when stored in airtight container, and even longer if you keep it refrigerated or frozen. Shortbread is made using only 4 ingredients: butter, flour, sugar, and a pinch of salt. It was usually served as important occasions like Christmas, Hogmanay, weddings, and Christmas. Shortbread can be shaped in various ways, including rounds, rectangles, or even festive molds. So, National Thank God It's Day. It's Monday. It's all about rewiring our minds to have positive attitude about the most hated day of the week. Monday can represent new opportunities, new beginnings, or simply a brand new chance because you don't just like job, you also intended to gun for promotion and live your full potential. And it's Monday, says the day with all your personal energy. It's not just first day of the week, it's the first day of rest of lives. So Mondays are one of the days in a week in which Muslims are encouraged to do voluntary fasting. The other being Thursdays, there are a number of hadith which narrates Prophet Muhammad fastings on these days. Similarly, in Judaism, Mondays are considered auspicious for fasting. Religion aside, research shows, thank God, it's Monday celebrations as only going back a few years. It takes a special mindset to really appreciate the first day of the work or school week, to view it as dynamically positive. It is like forcing ourselves to learn to be good with names and simply because we know it's the right thing to do. Today is also commemorated as National Take Down the Christmas Tree in US on January 6th. After the bustle and excitement of Christmas season, National Take Down the National Christmas Tree on Jan 6 provides a perfect end to season. Is the last of the 12 days of Christmas and encourages us to finally let go of holidays, take down our trees, and ushers in Epiphany. Christmas trees have been around since 1500, some say even earlier, and have become integral part of the Christmas festivities in this century. Just like Christmas celebrations, the time you choose to take down your Christmas tree is completely at your discretion. So many people take down right away after opening of gifts on Boxing Day, and others leave it up until New Year's Day or even for a while after. However, if you are one of the people who simply can't seem to get around the pressing core, National Take Down the Christmas Tree Day may present you with perfect opportunity. Today is also commemorated as National Take a Poet to a Lunch Day in US. And January 6th will be the best time to show your support and appreciation for their work. Take them out for a great meal on your poetry has been around this since Christ, and this creative rhythmic form of literature has been foundation for things we now enjoy, such as modern music. Epic poems were some of the first to be ever written. They are lengthy narrative programs which discuss the extraordinary doings of people in a time beyond living memory. They mostly involved gods and other superhuman forces and gave shape to the mortal universe. This allowed their descendants to understand themselves as a people or nation. Some scholars believe that art of poetry may predate with the oldest surviving epic poem, the Epic of Gilgamesh, dating back to as far as 3000 BC. It was originally written in uniform script on clay tablets. 1,000 years after that, in 2000 BC, the first love poem, Istanbul, was written on a tablet. Other forms of poetry developed directly from folk songs, with earliest entries in the oldest collection of Chinese poetry, the Shiging being lyrics. Initially, it was compiled by philosopher Confucius and is considered to be one of the official Confucian classics. Today is also commemorated as National Cuddle Day in US on January 6th, which falls on January 6th for a very important season. Since January has some of the coldest temperatures of the year, it's a great excuse to warm up by cuddling with the closest to you. Plus, if you got a fireplace and cozy blankets, it's even better. Today is also commemorated as National Bean Day on January 6th in US, which falls in the middle of winter. It's a perfect excuse to cook a favorite comfort food. Wondering why National Bean Day is held on January 6th? It is the same day as the famous genetist Gregor Mendel died in 1884. Mendel used bean plants and pea plants to develop theories on genetics in plants. So the formation of National Bean Day has more to do with scientific development than how good bean recipes taste. But don't let it deter from enjoying eating beans on this holiday. There are different kinds of beans to try, a whole bunch of them to sample: green string beans, pinto beans, navy beans, black beans, red kidney beans, and which are most popular among types of beans grown in US. If you are looking to save a bit of money on your food bill, beans are among the most cost-effective foods you can eat. And if you're looking for a source of protein that's quite a bit cheaper than beef or chicken, beans are the answer. A cooked bean weight is between 6 to 11% protein. So some kinds of beans are best served for dessert. Jelly beans are one of the most popular candies around. And there's even a chili flavor of jelly belly beans. And Boston baked beans are great candies too, even though jelly beans and candy coated peanuts that make up Boston baked beans aren't the same as traditional beans. They still taste great. Today is also commemorated as Hansel Monday in Scotland, which is an unique celebration where the master or mistress gives small gifts to their servants. In many households, fathers or mothers also give gifts to children on this day. Hansel means to deliver it into the hand. So this day is not just about handing gifts to servants and children. Each gift holds a significant meaning. Gifting money on this day is said to bring monetary luck for the rest of the year. However, if the gift isn't money, the object shouldn't be sharp. Today is also commemorated as Epiphany, and today is also commemorated as Dry Bean Day. Beans are staple food in many countries, and it is packed with nourishment of proteins and complex carbohydrates. The word beans is an umbrella term used for seeds for certain plant families. There are more than 40,000 varieties of legumes found across the world that are recognized as beans. Many traditional bean recipes are enjoyed across the globe. For Indians, it's rajma, which is comfort food served hot with rice. For Americans, it is chili, a mix of spicy and tangy, perfect for a weeknight. Likewise, the Brits, it's beans on the toast, a go-to breakfast, often enjoyed with sausages and so. So today is also commemorated as Apple Tree Day in US. Is a great day to honor great tradition of growing cultivating apples across North America, introduced to the region by colonists in the 17th century. Apple farming has been leading the food production industry in the US for a century. For seeder to pies, the apple is a greatly versatile fruit with tremendous health benefits and a mouth-watering taste. Although they don't need any extra marketing, apples still deserve this annual recognition for being the quintessential American fruit found in our homes throughout the year. So mull that cider and fill your homes with that sweet aroma as we come together to celebrate this great holiday. Apple Tree Day originally celebrated a 2-century-old apple tree, but as the time passed and the day gained prominence outside of its region of origin, the tree transformed into a celebration of apple cultivation and the fruit's benefits. Apple trees are rendered with great significance in our culture. Ancient mythology regards an apple tree as a sacred symbol of good health and prospective happiness. Apples are mentioned in the Celtic holy text as a fruit of God. Celtic mythology also highlights the healing properties of apples and sense of wholeness they bring to the body. Similarly, Aphrodite and goodness of love shared a deep association with an apple tree, calling it the tree of love. Americans, of course, cannot be separated from the need to bake an apple pie to make a happy occasion. Apples are great commercial export for the country as well, generating millions of dollars in revenue every year. Having easy access to an excess of nature's candy is a privilege not everyone can enjoy, but thankfully, American orchards will produce apples abundantly for centuries to come. So the 21st century depiction of apples have been somewhat tumultuous, from the fad diet culture to clamoring to eat one apple a day and nothing else. Let's come together on January 6th to establish all true scientific benefits of apples. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we request to everyone to fill the feedback form, which is being shared in the form of polls before leaving the platform. Now the feedback form has been launched. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback. See you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night.